Hey, what's up, guys? It is Sebastian Castillo here. It is a rainy Friday evening today, and like usual, I'm at home working, trying to get my funds up. And I was having dinner and I was thinking about a topic, and that would be making the transition from an employee mindset to a business owner mindset. And so I wanted to talk about one event that happened in my life a couple of years back, or one kind of like light bulb moment. Okay, so this is maybe in 2016, 2017, when I was still in China and I was working with my mentor at the time teaching English. Okay, and so what would usually happen is I would finish up my studies, going to Chinese class and everything, and then not every single day, but maybe 3 or 4 days out of the week, I would, because I was really trying to save money at this time, or at least I wasn't so much of a spendthrift, right? So I would hop on a bicycle, I would ride down to the metro station, and I'd ride the metro for maybe like an hour, and sometimes even an hour and a half, to my mentor's house out in kind of like the southern part of Shanghai. If you're familiar with it, it was in the Minhang district, okay? And so he would host classes in this house he was renting, okay? So I would show up, I'd teach maybe 3, maybe 4 classes, and then at the end, we would usually have a drink, or we'd even go across the street to a seafood restaurant, and my mentor would buy us dinner, right? And for a while it was great, it was fun. We were catching up, having a good time, having some drinks. Really, sometimes we'd go out with clients, or sometimes we'd invite other teachers from the school he was working at to join us, and it was good. But slowly but steadily, I was starting to realize that even though it was nice to go out to these dinners and stuff, by the time I was done, I would be, first of all, I would be a little tipsy at least. And then secondly, it would be like 9 or 10 in the evening. And so we're talking from the point where I got on the bike to go out to the metro station, which was like maybe 2 or 3 p.m., all the way until 9 to 10 o'clock, sometimes even longer than that. And then I thought to myself, if I choose to just leave after my last class, then I can get home earlier and I can work on my own thing, or I can spend my time doing something else. And this is the light bulb moment that I'm talking about, right? I don't know what kind of job you're working right now, or if you're working a job or whatever it is, but you have to be very cognizant of the fact that it's in your employer's best interest to keep you decently happy and keep you kind of plugged in, so that you don't go off and do something on your own. Now, of course, there are some good employers out there who will encourage their students or their workers to go out and do something and evolve, right? But for the most part, they don't want that, right? They want smart people, but they don't want people who are so smart that they're going to leave and go do something on their own, right? So I just want you to be aware of that, right? Like the other day I was watching a video that appeared on my Twitter feed, where it's another one of these, these chicks in the US who records a day in the life of a consultant or a tech worker or something, and it's basically like just adult daycare, right? They've got all this free food and these activities and this fun break room and all this stuff. And I'm just thinking, like, yeah, they're giving you these incentives so that you stay there longer, right? They don't want you to leave. They want you, again, they want to keep you just happy enough so that you continue working, but they don't want you to go off and do something else, right? And how does this relate in regards to going from an employee mindset to a business owner mindset? Is simply about making, taking these steps to work on your own, right? Like I said, instead of going to these dinners and hanging around and drinking and stuff like that, which is an easy decision, which is a fun decision, I decided, no, I'm going to go back home and I'm going to read, or at least I'm going to try getting a client for freelancing or something like that, right? And I mean, that's eventually what I did. I eventually started teaching my own students and making a lot more money doing that, and realizing that these people whoever you're working for right now, they're not geniuses. They might be, but they're probably not that much smarter than you. Whatever service that they're providing, like in this case, where my mentor, he was just teaching English, right? Basically anyone could have done that, right? What mattered here was the fact that he was connected and he had other people who could provide him with referrals and increase his business, right? So this is important because even though you might spend time developing your skill set, it's super important to develop your network as well, right? Making money can be boiled down to something as simple as find people who have money, find out what they want, what problems they need solved, and then give them what they want, right? So yeah, I don't want to go rambling on in this video, but just food for thought, right? It's like the concept of golden handcuffs, right? It's your employer or whoever, they're giving you a lot of perks, they're making sure that you're comfortable and you're happy and everything, but it's actually like a noose that's slowly tightening around your neck, right? Because the more comfortable you get working for an employer or someone like that, the harder it's going to be to bite the bullet and then go off on your own and do something, right? Because I'll tell you, if you go on Twitter, if you go on YouTube and all this stuff, you're going to see a lot of posts by especially young people who talk about how, oh yeah, I'm 21, 22, making all this money in my email marketing agency and my whatever, my SEO company, copywriting, whatever. And what you have to realize is that a lot of these people, it's like the tip of the iceberg, right? They're not showing you all the countless months or even years that they had to spend reaching out to people and growing their network to the point where they can command a high price for what they do and actually be good at what they do, right? For me right now, I'm very transparent with you guys. I'm still in kind of a low point, right? Prior to coming to Mexico, I was, as some of you may know, I was working in my pressure washing business and I was doing pretty well up in Canada. But for many reasons that some of you may also be familiar with, I decided that I just couldn't stand living there anymore. I had no future there anymore, and the place is going downhill, and I was very correct about that. And I knew I had to bite the bullet and accept that for the next little while at least, my standard of living would take a hit. And it's getting a little better, but just be prepared, if and when you make that leap, your lifestyle, wherever it is, if it's here, it's gonna go down here. And maybe it's gonna come up a little bit and it's gonna go back down, come up a little bit, go back down. But eventually it's gonna start going up and up and up and up and up and up. It's the name of the game is simply not giving up and constantly trying to get better at whatever it is you do. Okay, so again, didn't want to make this too long-winded. Hope that was helpful for you guys, and I'm going to be putting out a lot more videos now. Take care.